Good evening, YouTube pipers. You know why you're here. Tonight, I'm going to be smoking some aged Seattle Pipe Club Plum Pudding Reserve in this here Peterson Derry. I believe this is the 403 shape. Fantastic pipe. Really like the rustication on the Derry. And for those of you not familiar, it's kind of like an army mount system. This stem literally just fits in to the shank here, snug fit there. This is actually the only Peterson that I own. Got the charring light started. Let's get to it. Anybody who's been following my channel for any amount of time knows that I love plum pudding. And the Special Reserve is just fantastic. This is actually the only version of the Special Reserve that I've smoked is this aged 5 years. I bought the tin in 2018 and I cracked it open last year in 2023. So it's had 5 years of age on it. That cake literally just fit inside that big can. And when I took it out, I wish I had made a video of it back then. It looked like the most delicious tobacco brownie I'd ever laid eyes on. It was ridiculous. It was so dark, so rich looking, probably from the age. And I wanted to see what 5 ages would do because primarily, with English and Balkan type blends, super long aging, I don't think is really going to dramatically affect the taste or the nuances of the tobacco beyond like 3 to 5 years of aging. I mean, it might, not really sure. Still a little moist. I set that brick down on a little bamboo cutting board that I bought from a supermarket. And I took out my little mini CRKT cleaver and just cube cut, little by little, that whole entire brick into tiny cube cuts. And then I gently rubbed out most of the cubes and I let it dry for a little bit before just stuffing all of it into one of those mason jars. When I was preparing this bowl, and I emptied some out onto my Pipes and Cigars magazine, which I keep right on my end table. That's usually where I set up my bowls that I'm going to smoke. I was looking at the tobacco underneath the end table light, and you could just see like a very fine plume spread throughout all of the tobacco. Nothing crazy, but it was there if you looked close. I'll see if I can get some extra pictures of it put up, either somewhere now while I'm talking in the video or maybe towards the end of the video. I'll post a couple of pictures, close-ups of what the tobacco looked like when I first took it out of the jar before packing the bowl. Some black coffee, cilantro. I'm almost positive that that one tin of the Special Reserve plum pudding, the big brick in the can. I think that was the only one that I had. I think I've got about 6 tins of the Special Reserve Flake that have been sitting in the cellar for almost as long by now, I'm sure. But I think I'll probably go out and get another 1 or 2 tins of the big bricks and just throw them in there, you know. Maybe 5 years from now, crack one open and leave the other one for like a 10 years type of aging thing before I open that one. See how it does. I know some people liken the Special Reserve plum pudding um, to Penzance. I don't find that to be the case. I think there are other blends out there that more closely resemble Penzance. The popular favorites, the GLP's blends, Quiet Nights, that's a pretty good one. And I do believe there's a lot to be said for Hearth and Home's 10 to Midnight. There's something about that blend that very much resembles Penzance for me. Penzance is just in its own category. I agree with Simon from London that with the Penzance, it's really more about the Virginias and their process of how they do everything with that blend with the Virginias. I do get a nice sweetness off the Virginias in the Special Reserve blend from the plum pudding, but it's ever so subtle, and I get it right on the tip of my tongue. I'd be interested to try the Special Reserve brand new right out of the tin to see how it compares with this that has 5 years age on it, because I believe it was the Orientals, the quality of the Orientals that was upgraded for the Special Reserve. And after the 5 years aging, it's really blended really well with the Latakia. If I had to put the ingredients in order in terms of taste on the aged, I'd say I almost get the Virginias first, followed by the Orientals, with the Latakia right behind it. The Black Cavendish and the Perique. I think there's Perique in the regular plum pudding. Pretty sure there is. I think this was like one of those kitchen sinks. No burley in it though, I don't believe. For someone who likes plum pudding as much as I do, you would think I would know, the ingredients by heart right off the top of my head. But something happens when I hit the record button on this thing, and I just turn into an idiot. It's very smooth. It is rich, but it's not like a super thick, rich, or creamy, rich smoke thickness like you would get off of a heavier blend like a Gaslight or even a Quiet Nights. But it's really, really nice. I smoke Balkans and Englishes throughout the entire year, and they really are like my go-to blends, broken up by aromatics and burley, Virginia burley blends, throughout the warmer months. So I definitely start gravitating more towards the English and Oriental forward blends this time of the year. Yeah, I'm really picking up the sweetness from the Virginias with that tanginess from the Orientals right next to it. Still a little bit of a spiciness on the retrohale, probably coming from the Perique. I'm really not trying to make this like a review video. That's not my thing. There are presenters in this community that do the reviews the way they need to be done. These are really just my opinions and what I'm picking up. I just wanted to take a few minutes real quick to share it for those of you who have been possibly sitting on the fence. Obviously, the price of the tobaccos have just been going up over the past few years. I think inside the brick and mortars, a tin of the special reserve brick is probably going for 30 to maybe even 40 bucks. I forget what it's going for through the online retailers. Probably close to the same amount. It's probably not too much less. If you like the Oriental forward blends, or even the regular plum pudding, if you like quiet nights and all those other types of Oriental forward Balkan type blends, you'll probably definitely like the Special Reserve. And as far as I can tell, the Special Reserve flake should be exactly the same. The only difference being that they took that brick and they cut it into flakes. No bite whatsoever. And I can be sensitive to tongue bite, especially at times. Sometimes I puff too hard. Looking forward to getting a couple of meerschaums in the future because I have absolutely no meerschaum pipes. But I'm waiting to find the right one. I really don't need one to have intricate carvings and all that stuff. Maybe a simple one with just like the lattice work in it. So I can really just take my time one day and see, how much I can really tease out in terms of flavor. But I've had this blend um, plenty of times, excuse me, already in both Briar and Cobbs, and it's just great. 5 years age on the Seattle Pipe Club Plum Pudding Special Reserve. I'm going to go take my time finishing this and really enjoy it. If you've never had it, try it, get it. Great. Age it, don't age it. I'm sure even right out of the tin, it's probably phenomenal, because plum pudding on its own is great right out of the tin too, and I love plum pudding. So that's going to do it. Until next time, hope you'll have a great weekend, a good night, be well, and see you next time.